the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, October 19th. It's almost NFL time. We're just minutes away from another 9:30 a.m. kickoff, and we're heading to London for more NFL football, just moments away. It's a little bit wet in London today. It's a little bit cold. It's hoodie time here in Las Vegas. So get ready for the show. We're going to preview the big game in just a moment. The big game meaning Seattle and Toronto in the Major League Baseball American League Championship Series. But first, we're going to preview the game coming up here in just a few moments between the Rams and the Jaguars. We'll get right to the action. Then we'll recap if we want from yesterday, and we'll take a look at the rest of the NFL card and 4 games on the ice today in the National Hockey League. But first, we've got action here just moments away, 10 minutes in London between the Los Angeles Rams and the Jacksonville/London Jaguars today with the Rams favored. Let me say hello to some folks in the chat. We'll get right to it. I want to say hello, though, to everyone who came in a little bit early, like Cash Kane is here, David Wallace is here, Art Tomps, good morning. Robert is ready to go after a big day. There's Derek. Nice to see Derek in the chat. Mike Humphrey is here. There's Nuke. We saw him make an appearance last night. Joe W. is here as well. Nick Handy joining us. We're getting the injury information in too just now from the NFL, starting to roll in with the actives and inactives. Trevor Davis is here. Bo Jackson's ready. Hey everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel Sports Money here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Bo Jackson's ready to go. Can they do it? Bobby Mack is watching a soccer match here as well. 1-0 over there with Tottenham, and getting ready for that game here in just a few moments. Let's get to it. Let's roll to the action and get started. Then we'll catch up on whatever business we have. Look, we got football and not much else. We got those other games, but I think we can handle this show. Is the sound on? Here we go. Let's go to the game out here in London right away with the Rams versus the Jaguars. It could be at the Jaguars, the way the Jaguars. Hey, no one plays as many London games as Shad Khan's London Jaguars. And they come in here. Hey, the Jaguars are a dog, of course. I mean, the Rams, after all, pretty good team coming in, right? No, they haven't missed a beat here necessarily this season. Everybody thought maybe the Rams would take a step back. That hasn't been the case. In fact, if anything, they look even better right now. Funny, the Rams probably wish that they were in the AFC. They're 4-0 against the spread versus AFC teams so far this season, and 4-0 ATS and straight up against AFC teams this season. The Rams have held 4 of their 6 opponents to under 300 yards coming in. The Rams are also 13-7 against the spread their last 20 games as a favorite. Also 14-8 against the spread last 22, coming in off of a win. For Jacksonville, they've won 3 of their last 4 games, and feels like a Jacksonville team that's been as good as they've been in quite a while, the way they've been playing. Now, they have been allowing some passing yards, that's for sure. Close to 300 yards in 4 of their last 5 games. But Jaguars are 10-5 ATS in their last 16 games as an underdog, 9-5 against the spread. Their last 14 coming in off of a loss. This is, I think, what you have to measure here with this one is, with the Rams laying a few points here. Can they overcome that handicap? I know that's obvious, but take a look at who's in, who's out in this one today for Atlanta. Or Darnell Mooney. Let's see here. He is expected to suit up. And let me see. I want to make sure we get these ones. I want to make sure these ones are just right because of the proximity of the game time here. You guys probably already over. We know Puka's out, of course, coming in. And for me, look, Puka is a big factor whenever he's out of the game, right? But I still am of the belief, as good as he is, I mean, I'm not talking down about Nakua. I do think that Stafford still makes the receiver to a certain extent, and that certainly helps the rest of the crew today, especially when you're down to, of course, you have the Rams coming in here. I don't know why I said Mooney. I'm talking with the Rams game here, certainly. And I meant Nakua, of course. But Devin Lloyd out for Jacksonville here. De'Ami Brown is in. Eric Murray, the safety of Jacksonville, is in here as well. Blake Corum for the Rams is in as well. The tackle, Havenstein, he's definitely out of this game. I want to hear from you in the chat. We can get your plays coming in here for this one between Jacksonville and LA. LA's covered 11 of their last 14 games overall coming in. Jacksonville 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games coming in. Now, the Rams have held the head-to-head series, but in an interconference series like this, I'm not too worried about that. Just for the note, the Rams have won 5 of the last 6 meetings and covered all 6 of the last meetings between the two teams. But I'm not so worried about that in a game like this. I'm more worried about the weather and who's in and who's out. So let me hear from you in the chat. I'll make a pick here and we'll get rolling with the show. And I'll tell you who I like fantasy-wise as well. I'm kind of on Stafford here for sure in this one. I think the numbers came a little high on Devontae because of Puka Nakua out of the game, so I couldn't really get there. Tutu Atwell looks like the guy I have to go to here offensively if I'm going to get there with the Rams. I'm kind of down on Whittington. I know he's the number 2 probably in this game, right? Did that make his numbers come a little bit too high or too low? I think I got to go under with Whittington in this game. I'm kind of neutral on Higbee here for the Jaguars. Look, I'm down on Lawrence. I'm, of course, down on the running game. No one is better against the run than the Rams. They're number 1. So I'm going under with ATN for sure. And Tootin, I mean, they've tried to get the ball to him, but he really hasn't fulfilled expectations here over the last couple of weeks. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. is probably in line for a pretty big game. I probably can go to him, even though the number's a little bit high, I thought. I'm not down on him. I was more neutral, but looking at the lineup here, and if the Jaguars are kind of stuffed in their run game, I gotta think you got to go with Brian Thomas Jr. here to have a big game right now. Like I said, with De'Ami Brown injured a little bit, didn't fulfill his expectations last week. I'm kind of neutral on him. I know everybody's kind of humped up on Travis Hunter this week. Every time we talk about, can Hunter get more receptions? Will they work him in more? Can they work him in more? It hasn't worked out. I don't think I want Travis Hunter in this game. I know there's a lot of guys on him here, but I don't know if I can. I think the guy for me is Hunter Long. I think he's overlooked by bettors, and I think with the way that the Jaguars are going to have to navigate this game, I think Hunter Long will continue to see more opportunities here right now since Strange is on the injured list. Obviously, Hunter Long will be the guy here. He's really only had one decent game. He had 3 targets and a touchdown in the win over San Francisco. And I think Hunter Long is the guy to look to today. Maybe in those touchdown prop, maybe that first touchdown prop, maybe the ATD today. I like Hunter Brown as probably my favorite guy on Jacksonville today. Let me go to you guys in the chat here in this one. I'm going over in this game. Yeah, I'm a little concerned with the wet conditions and the way the field always turns out when the weather's a little bit spicy here in London and in these games over in England. I mean, look, the turf is probably great for a soccer match, but will it be great for a football game? Let me hear from you in the chat. And good morning to everyone. We'll go over all the games in just a minute. Trevor is on Jacksonville. Irish King likes me. Thanks, Irish King. Cash Kane says, take the under and then tease it. Robert likes the under in the game. Uh-oh, he likes the under. I'm going over in this one. I've got like I said, there are some concerns that I have. I just like right now with this number coming in at 44 and a half. That's enough for me here. Robert also on the Jaguars here. R. Tomps likes the under as well. Cash Kane wants to tease those Jags. And David's on the Jags. It seems like Jaguars and under in the chat. Got to be honest with you. ATN on it. Irish King's on his rushing yards and an ATD. Man, that would be big. Like I said, I don't know where you have them. I got the Rams as the number 1 rushing defense in the league. I know there's some other, Cleveland certainly right there as well. I get that. Nobody runs on Cleveland. Greg Gibson doing a great job being a contributor. Hey, don't forget everybody can be a contributor in the chat and win 1 month of plays from me at the end of this broadcast. I'm going to have a nice card today over at winnable.com. So just all you got to do is comment. We've already had 15 people comment in here. NYC Bar is on the over in this one. Nuke likes the Rams. Greg says, don't overthink it. This is a Jaguars game. Look, if the Jaguars do have a great game here, I would think that, well, I already think for sure that the Jaguars are much improved. Whether or not this 4-2 start can carry them all the way to the postseason, maybe it could. It's a pretty good start. As long as they don't go Tanksville when the games they're supposed to win, I think this is a pretty good start. Irish King says it is a light rain with 9-mile-an-hour winds. It sure looks wet down there, though, doesn't it? Looks like you get your uniform wet as soon as you went down on that wet grass. I mean, after all, it is a light rain. Public Enemy here today as well. So we'll go all the way here. We're just about to kick it off. So hope everybody's in on it. And like I said, I'm going, give me that first touchdown for Hunter Long here. I'm going to go over on my Hunter Long props. I'm under with ATN. I'm under with Trevor Lawrence, but I'm over with Stafford. I'm over with Tutu in this one. If you want to take a real long shot here, maybe Xavier Smith could finally get involved today with Nakua out. Still got to get, you got, don't worry about it. I mean, Kanata Mumford is probably going to be out there. He had 2 targets in the last game, but man, I wish they'd get Smith in there in the game today. Neutral on Higbee. So, all right. Irish King says, man, can you believe it? The way that 9 seasons for McVay. Greg says the Rams are overrated and overvalued. Man, gosh. I kind of, Greg, you've been a great new contributor to the community. I don't know if I'm agreeing with that. I think the Rams, I mean, it looked just when it looked like they were going to be, before the season, right? Oh, Stafford. Maybe you're right. Maybe a little bit of baited. We got baited a little bit, right? By, Stafford, he's going to be injured back. We don't even know if he can play this season. God. And then all of a sudden they come out here pretty strong, actually, to start the season. If anything, they had a little bit of hiccup in the 2 losses here so far to the 49ers. I mean, obviously a division game where they lost at home. Niners are obviously pretty good still, and then losing to the Eagles in that bizarre game on the road. So, all right, they're waving their flag. I don't know what those are those the Jaguar flags that everybody's wearing. This says a Jaguar home game after all. We're underway. And fielded cleanly here at the 2. And the Jaguars going to get the ball first at the 34, 35, 36-yard line, slipping through there. So we're underway. Thanks, everybody. Get started with the show now. Oh, man, I'd rather watch the game with you guys. All right. Hey, while we have it going on here, let's, don't want to attract attention from the game, but we got breaking news. Well, hey, you know what? You can continue to make your money and be a star in the NBA. Kevin Durant just agreed to a 2-year, $90 million contract extension with Houston that'll take him through 2028. Here's a sack of Lawrence, and the Rams are crunching them here so far. So the Rockets extend Kevin Durant. Hey, welcome to Houston, Kevin, and we'll see how it goes here with Durant this year. He's supposed to be a big impact player, of course, superstar Kevin Durant. Maybe his last contract here, actually, coming up here with that extension there. So pretty good, though. Durant extended here. Just a quick brief before we get into some of the action here on Sunday. Here on the Morning Steam.
Final.
All right, guys, I'm going to have a package of games coming out here right after the show for the games today. And you can get my picks over at winnable.com/Ramon. Came through with some good winners, I thought, yesterday. We had some nice winners there on the card in the NHL and in college football yesterday. Took care of some business there. And it looks like fourth down coming up here for the Jaguars as we're getting going. But we did have some picks there on the ice yesterday in our premium picks. We had the St. Louis Blues to win over the Stars. In that one, we had the Predators and the Jets game to go under yesterday for another winner. Strong day yesterday, I thought, in the NHL. We had Tampa Bay and Cleveland, a premium pick that went as a winner. We did fall there with Montreal. So 3-1 on the day with our premium picks, and you can get my premium picks over at winnable.com/Ramon. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those premium pick packages. We had some other winners there yesterday as well in college football. We had a real nice card there with the we went 4-2 in FCS games under the free subscription. We had a winner with Syracuse and Pittsburgh yesterday, but man, we swept our FCS picks there with South Dakota, Northern Iowa under. We had St. Thomas -29.5. We had Murray State and South Dakota State game under. So why not subscribe over at winnable.com and get those picks from me? I had over in TCU and Baylor yesterday. We had over with Rutgers and Oregon. We had under with Air Force and Wyoming. And we had the over with Indiana and Michigan State. So, all right, let's see what else is going on. We'll get right to the baseball game first. Then we'll get back to football because the baseball game is pretty big here today, obviously. Game number 6. All right. Terrell says the media sucks up to the coach. Which media are you watching, Terrell? I mean, maybe you should, this sounds like a left-right issue almost. McVay, Peyton. Kaki must be talking about McDaniel, my guy. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm media. I pretend to be media. Jerry Jones in there. Nanya, hello to Nanya on a Sunday. All right, let's talk Major League Baseball if we can real quick. Then we'll get back to the NFL. We got game number 6 here tonight between Mariners and the Blue Jays. And the backs of the Blue Jays are to the wall here, and they're going to turn to a starting pitcher that has 5 major league starts. Now, that doesn't sound great, but yes, Savage has been good, so there's no doubt. That's okay at this point. I mean, the Blue Jays are 4-1 with Savage on the mound. He is a 3.86 ERA and a 1.2 WHIP, 193 batting average against. Normally, this would be excellent numbers, but again, just 5 starts for Logan Gilbert here. A 3.36 ERA, 104 WHIP, 214 batting average against in 27 starts this season. Gilbert did have an opener there in one of the games, but look, Blue Jays have been the profitable team all season long here, up 17 and a third units. The Mariners really are barely a break-even team, maybe a little bit over at plus 1.5 units. So you look at this matchup, I just feel like, man, you're going to make the Blue Jays here a slight favorite here. Yeah, the $1.20, $1.30 range here right now. The total actually has gone up here at some spots to 8 under 20. Can we get some offense here today with these guys? I'll talk about the lineups here real quick and see what you have, and take a look also at the head-to-heads a little bit for today's game. And we know Savage not having any a lot of experience anyway against these guys, but we know that Logan Gilbert certainly does against a couple of these guys. Gilbert has faced Springer. By the way, we just got it in at still questionable tonight for George Springer. That is a big factor. I mean, look, that hurt. That hurt to watch, didn't it? I mean, how would you think to be back in just 2 days after getting clunked on the knee like that? Man, that hurt. So, boy, if I had to hazard a guess, I'd say no. He needed big-time help just to get off that field. Now, having his bat in there would be big. Vladdy's 6 for 15 off of Gilbert with 2 home runs. Kirk, 4 for 12 with a couple of doubles for Alejandro. So some hot bats there for the Blue Jays. But go ahead and in the chat. I know I'm going to be unpopular with my friend Nuke and everybody, but I got to take Seattle here. They won the first 2 in Toronto. For whatever reason, Toronto didn't look great in those games, and maybe there was something to Seattle coming in. Maybe, like I said, it did feel like, right, for all the momentum that Seattle got going there with those first 2 wins, it was virtually erased with the 2 wins by the Blue Jays. But in game 5 or game 3 in Seattle, the way they won, the grand slam, the 5 runs in the 8th inning, down 2-1, that was to me, almost erased all the momentum that the Blue Jays had gotten together, it feels like. So I'm going to go with Seattle against my friends in here, and I hope for you. Look, make no mistake, there are more Blue Jays fans in this chat than there are Seattle Mariners fans. There might not be one Seattle Mariner fan in this chat. I'm not talking about the bet today. I'm talking about their team. So, all right. Nunya's ready for Mac and Parrot. That's what we're waiting for right there on our Chargers right there, Nunya. Yeah, I've had some other injuries in there. You wish you had everybody ready. And D Money, good morning. Ayo D is here as well. Bo's going to the game. We got to root for the Blue Jays a little bit. I'm just scared and worried, you guys. Greg does say Toronto big tonight, 7-3 in a must-win situation. Rams driving down the field here. A lot of Higbee going on. Seattle smells blood. Good morning to Abel. Hi, Abel. And yes, I'm rooting for the Dodgers now, only because I got that ticket. Otherwise, I'd root for the American League team here, but I don't have any Mariners and I don't have any Blue Jays. Everything is burned up. All I can do is get the Dodgers to win, and all that would do is pay for all my futures tickets that didn't win. I don't think I'm going to make it, but maybe I could buy a pizza by the time it's all over. D Money on the Mariners here. And Nathan Lukes, look, they're going to need it from somebody here, right, tonight. And Toronto and Dodgers. Look, it would be nice to have another International World Series. I won't slight that a little bit. Although some say Seattle and the Dodgers is an International World Series. They said the impact of the Asian the Japan money, if you will, the viewership is a big deal to the league. They're not going to be totally disappointed like you might think. But let's not count it yet. We got it, All right. And Jerry's got a 10-1 on him there. Greg says they'll see more money with Dodgers and Toronto. I want to see a story on that. Or maybe you could break it down. I'm not doubting you. Rams are inside the 10 and a first down here. Looking sharp on this one. That was a 4th and 3 play. And they got the first down. Nuke's taking the Jays, and they should have swept that game. It felt like right then and there, right even before right before that inning, that Seattle was feeling like resigned a little bit to the fact that maybe it was over. Dodgers for Abel. Toronto overrated. Everybody's overrated here. And Greg's liking it for that international series here. Jerry Jones is going to make 50 dimes, I think he said. I don't know if that's 50 dimes or 50. Rowley versus Otani here would be good for Irish King. Toronto, though, has international superstars. That's, the Seattle doesn't necessarily have that. It feels like personal foul here on the defense. Okay. Thank you, Nunya. See you later. And Abel says Dodgers in 5 in the World Series. Oh, boy. That's not going to do good for money. Abel, that's Abel. We're getting ready for the big game or two here in the American League. Abel's ready to go. Okay, so for me, I'm taking the Blue Jays here tonight, you guys. The Mariners tonight. I'm gonna be that guy, and come in here and give me the business tomorrow when the Jays win and go to the next game. Make a game 7. Why not? We need a game 7 because of the National League sweep. Okay, I guess that's it. Let's go to the football. Enjoy the game tonight. Good luck to my Toronto friends tonight. Greg says Seattle's kind of a Cinderella team. Yeah, I think they had expectations this season, certainly. I mean, I think Seattle could look at it as if they were going to contend for a division title, I think, this season. Yeah, the Astros have always coming in with a lot of promise. The Rangers as well, obviously, have been having some good seasons. There's a touchdown, and it's Mumfield. Mumfield and Sons? No, Mumfield. Who had Mumfield? Who's got the mumps? No one had Mumfield, did they? It's funny because they actually, against, that's where Jacksonville kind of excels covering receivers like that. But Mumfield's got it, and the Rams are on the board. How about if you're Mumfield getting that touchdown catch there in Jacksonville after he had one catch last week, his first catch of the season? And Mumfield's in there. All right, PAT good. 7-0. Rams lead here first quarter. All right, I'm moving to the NFL right now, and I want to hear from you and our great card today. And let's get it started with the home team here, my home team, at least nowadays. The Raiders are on the road. They're getting a dozen from the Chiefs. I know the Raiders got some problems, but the Chiefs do not cover in division. I promise you that. And the Raiders actually do cover in division. I know that there's some personnel issues here for sure that kind of make it seem like the Chiefs and the way that they're playing as well. I mean, the Raiders are not good, you guys. They're not good. I know that. You know that. And they, maybe had a little bit of success here in a few games. But, oh, man, you got to think that the Raiders are going to be in trouble here. But I'm taking the points for sure. Come on, a dozen points with this Raiders team. It's just that the Chiefs, they play great defense. It might even actually kind of be a low-scoring game here. And at a dozen points, I mean, what could it really be? 28-17 would get it home there for the Raiders. So let's see what you guys have, though. I'll run over some trends here for sure in this one and talk about the matchup. No Brock Bowers. That's a big deal here. The Raiders definitely have some concerns coming into this game with personnel here, no doubt. But again, remember the Chiefs, they're only 3-3. Jacoby Myers is questionable. Brock Bowers is probably out now. Max is in for the Raiders here. Josh Simmons, he is out of this game for Kansas City. There, Brashard Smith, he is probable. This good-looking running back here for the Chiefs. And right now, we've got breaking news. The Chiefs are getting steamed. You can go to your book right now and take a look, but the Chiefs are getting some steam here right now. We're starting to see a few 12.5 start to pop up. I'm giving you the word because you might actually be able to beat the line here. If you like the Chiefs, now's the moment. Now is the moment to get the line service has just chimed in and said that the Chiefs are getting steamed here right now in that game. So that's kind of breaking news as far as our line moves are concerned. And that's why we cover the games we do here on the morning steam. So you can update that, but we're starting to see some 12.5s pick up here right now at some of the books with the Chiefs taking a little bit of steam here on the morning steam. Wow. I don't want to lay it here with the Chiefs at all. I'm on the Raiders, you guys. I'll do it. I'll take the Raiders here. Look, in their wins, they played good defense for sure, but man, they rarely can rush for 100 yards. That's a problem here in the run game. Currently, Raiders went under their team total in 4 of their 6 games so far this season. Now, the Raiders are 10-8 against the spread on the division road, but they are 4-7 ATS last 11 as a road dog. The Chiefs have won and covered 3 of their last 4, and they've thrown the ball in their last 3 games about an average of 270 yards or so. Chiefs are just 18-22, last 40 as a home favorite. ATS 16-24, last 40 ATS coming in off a win, and just 4-11 in the division in their last 15 home games playing division foes. So, look, Chiefs have won 17 of the last 20 meetings between the two, and the Raiders have covered 4 of the last 5 trips into Arrowhead, and they've been getting these points every time. Maybe not as many as this, but I gotta go with the Raiders here. This one now getting 12, even 12.5 points here right now in this one. As we see that line move up here currently, let me see where I get these 12.5s here. FanDuel 12.5. DK is still sitting 11.5. So let me hear from you in the chat. I gotta take the Raiders here today. Chiefs are not a good cover. I mean, they certainly almost could they name the score? They do kind of have a backdoor quarterback in Geno, don't they? Here we go with some of the picks. Terrell wants to go to Seattle. NYC Bar is on the over in this one. And Chiefs always beat the Raiders by 10. Well, that would be a cover for the Raiders, obviously. Raiders have been covering the first half, says Abel. Rashee Rice, that's obviously big news as well. Served a suspension, so they're going to add Rice back here to that team that's already clicking. It's funny, though. The Chiefs went from, oh, man, maybe the Chiefs' time is done to we're back. We're the Chiefs. They're still only 3-3, right? But back to Super Bowl contender, instant contender there. Greg likes it 27-17. D Money's on the Raiders. Irish Kings got Chiefs sent over. Art Tom likes the over in this one. Geno to throw a couple of picks, says Nuke. And Greg says never take the obvious. What is the obvious in this game, though? Terrell says Chiefs cover without trying. They'll build a big lead and put it on cruise control. Robert says take the under. Greg says the Chiefs play to the level of their competition. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. All right. And Gino's been throwing those picks. Jerry says they beat Detroit by 14. They should beat Las Vegas by 21. If they beat Detroit by 14, the Chiefs should win the Super Bowl by that theory, it seems like, huh? And Nunya likes the Raiders. Greg says Chiefs cover on good teams, not bad teams. You're right about that, Greg. That's really what it seems like, doesn't it? And thank you, Arthur, for your contributions to the Sports Money Network. Really appreciate you. And let's see here. And Nunya says he's a Chargers fan like me, so he doesn't. And I've been wrestling with it too here a little bit. I kind of want to root for the Raiders, kind of being in Las Vegas now. And look, I have every reason to dump the Chargers, but I'm just never going to do it. So it's tough. I'll always root against the Raiders when the Chargers play them, of course. But like to see them do good. When I say when they came to this city, Nunya, and went to Las Vegas, I said, you know what? Even Mark Davis can't screw up this type of move, and he's almost found a way to do it. I would almost say that if the Raiders were still, obviously they were stuck in Oakland, they'd be doomed, but it's almost like the mojo of the awesome stadium and everything has kind of kept it a little bit manageable, but still feels like Mark Davis is just awful. I know he just won a championship in women's basketball. And Greg says everyone thinks the Chiefs are going to blow them out. Well, you know what? I'll agree with that to a certain extent because the 12-point game is really kind of a blowout, right? So even if they just fall right on the spread, that is kind of a blowout. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Great picks. I'm taking the Raiders in this one. Let's go next up. And we've got the Dolphins and the Browns. And, well, there is a big news here, and it has to deal with the weather. We're going to be dealing with some brutal conditions here, rain and wind. I don't think we're getting a white field or anything like that, even though it is a chilly 55 in Las Vegas right now. Made me put on my hoodie even in the studio here. But got the Dolphins and the Browns are going to be playing under adverse conditions today here in Cleveland, with this one expected to have a rain probably throughout the game, maybe just a light rain, but the wind is supposed to be the big factor in this one. Very windy conditions in this game that should take a dramatic effect on the game. In fact, I think that's what the total. I mean, this is the whole story here, down to 35. Right now, this total was kind of 41, and yeah, we're already seeing the dysfunctional Dolphins. Maybe that was part of it too. You got Cleveland. I just hyped up the run defense there of the Rams, saying they're number one. Cleveland could be number one. They probably are in your book. If they're not, they're number two for me, so they're probably right up there for you guys as well. It's one of the best units in football is the Dolphins here. I mean, the Browns here against the run of the Dolphins. So got to be down on HN here a little bit, but I do like Tua's matchup a little bit going up against guys like with Waddle today. Waddle can have a big game. That's got to be a penalty on Jacksonville. Also, Darren Waller should have a strong game today, too, for the Dolphins. Look, the Browns have an incredible defense, and the Dolphins' defense is bad. It's just that Cleveland's offense. You got the rookie Gabriel in here. It's a great matchup for the Browns if they just had the players to get it done on offense, it feels like right here. Judkins is probably set up for a big game. Now, that's what they probably should do. Quinshon Judkins can have another big game. Remember, we were talking up Quinshon Judkins last time. He ended up with a big game. He should have a big game here, and that's what I would do if I'm the Browns. Also, Gabriel, got to find Jerry Jeudy, got to find Isaiah Bond, and you got to find our man Harold Fannin Jr. He's had two great games in a row for Fannin Jr. So I think it could bode well here for the Browns a little bit, but I think the Dolphins are going to eventually get there for me. I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one on the road. I'm going to be that guy in the battle of 1 and 5 teams here and take the Dolphins. I just like the wide receivers here. I think Waddle, Malik Washington, and Darren Waller is a good combination for Tua here going up still against a rookie quarterback that no one really is putting much confidence in. I actually think Dylan Gabriel, I don't have a problem with the way they're bringing him along. Do I want Shador in there? I don't know if I do. I mean, look, if he's not in there, these are pro coaches. There's got to be something to the situation with Sanders, and I don't think it's anything off the field. All he has to do is Dion or anything like that. I just don't know if he's showing what he needs to show to the Browns. That doesn't mean they're right or wrong.
Final.
But I mean, I think they just feel like he's not ready. So that's why Dylan Gabriel, is in there, obviously. So great matchup for Judy if they can get him the ball. I mean, the Dolphins are among the worst at coverage for sure. And Isaiah Bond, he could be the sleeper. Check his numbers out. He might be the guy that should go for that ATD today. It won't be many TDs, but I think it might still. I don't want to say overreaction. Haven't really seen the conditions to a certain extent. As I'm just going off what they were been talking about. I guess we'll get a look at the field here very, very shortly. But it does seem brutal. They've been talking about it for days, actually, with the conditions here in the game today. So, okay, let's go to the chat and get the
final
picks from you guys here in this one. Hope we're not going too slow here, but I enjoy talking about every NFL game on the show. And all right, Arthur he's a Titans fan and a Panthers fan. Rams are at the 5. I think that's a first down. There's Smith. Mark Davis is crazy, isn't he? He's got some ladies. Miami can't beat Rutgers. And I think he's talking about the Dolphins. Mbappe for Markel. Cleveland money line for Arthur, though he does like the Browns to take down. And let's see here. David Wallace is on the Browns. Judkins for a TD here for Irish King. And Joe W. says, no wind, no rain yet. How about that? And here's Browns for Nuke. Waller ATD there. Waddle ATD there. Some Waddle. And Arthur's seen enough here of Jacksonville. So this is going to trigger a losing streak. Robert's still going under this low number. And Greg says, fire the coach. Here's D Money's on the over. And Darrell says there's the playbook. Chase J, hello. And Greg says Browns win. Miami covers in that 2-point spread, a 1-point game. Is that a touchdown for Devontae? If it is. Devontae has found the end zone here, and they're up 2 scores in the first quarter. The Rams are off. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now. Got to go to the next one, guys, with the
final.
Patriots on the road taking on the Titans. Yeah, a little bit of, you think about the coaching situations of the clubs and kind of where it stands right now with these two teams, right? The Patriots are looking pretty good here at 4-2 right now. And you got Vrabel, the former Titans coach, goes in there. Okay, yeah, there's going to be some comfortability in New England for him and all that. But, hey, he went there and all of a sudden he's winning. And the Patriots are 3-0 on the road. In every sport, when I'm looking at a handicap from scratch or something like, I look for teams that win on the road. I think that's a great sign. Teams that win on the road are good teams. Patriots are 3-0 on the road. They've won by 6. They've won by 3. They've won by 6. I get that. Not putting the Patriots even in the playoffs yet, but I think it's a good sign. Pretty much such a good sign that they're favored by 7 points over this sorry-ass Titans team coming in. But the Patriots offense is going off with Drake May averaging almost 30 points a game here in the last 3 games. Patriots are 7-3-1. The last 11 is a road favorite, but that goes back a long ways, you guys, to be honest. Patriots have held their opponents to their team total under in 5 of their 6 games, and they've held 4 of their opponents to under 100 yards rushing. Now, here's the deal. The Titans, it's about to turn around, I promise you. Mike McCoy is the man. Whether you remember him or not, the former Chargers coach, I've worked with Mike McCoy on a media basis, and he's the man. I promise you he's the man. He's the interim coach here. I get all that, but he's going to win this job, and he's going to win these fans over, and he's going to turn the Titans around. I don't know if he can do it tomorrow. I don't know if he can do it today, but they've got the right man, actually, and hope he wins this job. So I'm a Mike McCoy fan. He didn't deserve to be well, he did deserve to be fired for the Chargers. He went 1-15, but and that was painful to watch too, because he is such a good guy. I know people always suck up to people they've met, and I'm always one coming on here saying, I've met this guy, I've covered this guy, or whatever. I'm here to tell you, Mike McCoy is a dude. I was managing a restaurant as well, and they would come do a radio show, and we'd broadcast the show throughout. Charger fans would come in, sticking by this guy. But I'm telling you, he can do it with this team, and I'm almost praying for him to do so. Tennessee's 1-5 straight up and against the spread. I can't tell you that, right now that anything good's going on, but McCoy was with the Chargers for 4 years, and he would have been a winning coach if he didn't have a disastrous season that got him fired. A lot went on in that season. Certainly, it was a bad team. I've actually been a little bit happy with Cam Ward of late. He's started to, have a few moments, if you will, here. It's really taken him so long to get, but Tennessee's stuck with the situation here. And look, you got a new coach coming in, and you don't see McCoy ready to go to a veteran or anything like that. Let's keep Ward going here. 7 points is going to be too much for me, and I'm going to end up here probably on the Titans. But for me, I'm actually going to be on the over in this game. I think the Titans come in. McCoy is good, both offensively and defensively. I'm going over in this game as my pick, but I like Tennessee to hang in there. Hopefully, it's only been the first week, so let's not get all. Let me not go crazy here and start, telling you the Titans are the side, even though I do like them here, plus the points. I mean, they're 4-13 against the spread, last 18 coming off a loss, 4-13 ATS also as an underdog. So no good rolls here for sure for these guys coming in. So Titans really can't get the offense going here, but like I said, sticking with Cam Ward, and I'm going to be looking to the Titans today. I'm actually looking forward to put up some offense here. I know it's a tough matchup for this passing game against New England, but watch out if we can finally get a Okonkwo going here at tight end, and I think the running game can be okay with Pollard here against New England. That's what they'll have to do. New England can run all over the Titans if they want to today. Titans can pressure the quarterback, could make a mistake, but I think Keyshawn Boutte is set up again for another good game here. I'm going with the over in the Patriots and the Titans here on Sunday. Here we go with some more comments. You guys are treating this game like the Super Bowl here with NYC Bar likes the Patriots. Our Thompson take the Titans, and Blake says Vrabel's going to enjoy this one. Greg says, who the Patriots giving 7 points? Give me the Titans on the money line. Nuke says Pats on the road, 7 points. I will say this: the Patriots. This is a dramatic improvement, and I think they owe it to the Vrabel, quite frankly. No Ridley, that hurts because now you got to look. There's no doubt they have a talented guy in A.O. Manor here, and he's going to have an increased workload with Ridley ruled out. A.O. Manor is going to have a breakout soon I don't know if it's going to be in this one. Let's see here. Irish King talking about Dowdle today. Also Judkins there. And May and Ward. Is that this one? Dunze, anytime TD. Okay, I've missed some of your plays in there. Jerry says to send Shador to the Niners. Oh, God. That's crazy. That is a crazy rumor. The Bears will eat at home. Am I going too slow, you guys? You guys are all up on these other games. Am I on the wrong game here? Who's scoring on the Titans side, says Blake. I'm going to go with Okonkwo. I'm going to go with Pollard, I think, as my two favorites there today. And Vrabel might run it up. Pollard TD here for Irish King. Patriots couldn't even beat the Raiders by 7. Nasty Nate says they're going to smash, though, today. Roberts on the Titans. Irish King says New England team total over. And, you know, that's right. Tennessee did have, like I said, it feels like Ward. I'm so glad they didn't, give up on him. It feels like if he doesn't work out, that'll be one thing. But you got to be, he looks great out there. There's a lot of things to learn for sure. But all right, let's see here. AOD talking about this soccer match 1-1. We're in the second half now, right? All right, I guess that's it. I made my play. I'm going over with the Patriots and the Titans. Next up, the Saints are at the Bears, and oh, man, look at this one with the Saints and the Bears here today, huh? Yeah, the Saints are 1-5. I get that. Bears are 3-2 with that winning record. But watch out, man. I've got the Saints starting to come back a little bit. God, they're not going to make the playoffs or anything like that. But who are the Bears to be laying points? It feels like I want to say here. You guys are saying who's laying points. I'm saying who's laying points here. Now, Slaggert, let's see. We get my Bears injuries here. I'm looking at the Blackhawks. Okay, Homer is questionable for the Bears. Santos is out still. Swift and Moore are probable today. Kamara, Olave, they are probable in this matchup. Saints have lost their 2 road games in blowout fashion so far. They've been outscored 120-65 in the first half this season, but the Saints are 18-9 against the spread as a road dog, their last 27. And Saints also just 4-14 against the spread, however, last 14 off of a loss. For the Bears here, they come in having won their last 3 games and are averaging upwards of 27 points so far, and both of their 2 wins. Who would have been 25-24? They won their last 2 games. That's a bizarre score, and they've won it in 2 straight games here. Chicago 8-4 against the spread, last 12 as a home favorite, but 7-13 against the spread, last 21 off of a win. Now, the Saints, this is a semi-regular series. The Saints have won 8 straight over the Bears and went 5-3 in the last 8 meetings. But 6 of the last 8 between the 2 teams have gone under. I think the Saints can score in this game. I've got to take them here. I think their offense can get some points here today. You talk about Olave is in. That's enough for me, pretty much. I'm high on. I'm high on the Saints passing game, meaning I'm one that thinks that people overlook them a little bit. They're not turning it around, but there's no doubt the Bears not great against the run. I've got them in the bottom 5 at least, if not the bottom 3. So Kamara also with Miller, and I think Olave and Shaheed can have good games here today. I think you'll see Jawan Johnson. I think you're going to see Taysom Hill doing his crazy stuff in there. And I think the Bears are going to be able to move the ball too. I think the Bears with Williams, with Moore, with Adunze, even the Bears. Look at these, Zacchaeus and Luther Burden. The Bears have some good receivers if you talk about the whole bulk. I know these guys aren't superstars. Well, Moore is, and Odunze is a rising star. So I'm going to see. This one's going to be some points. Going to be back and forth. It's going to come down to the end of the game. Doesn't matter which team is going to win. It's going to be too close to call. And I've got the Saints here plus the points in this one in a close, high-scoring game today. Lawrence has got all day, but the Rams are still able to wrap him up. Let's go to the comments in this one today between the Saints and the Bears. It's going to be Olave for a TD, says Irish King. Art Tops likes the Saints. And AOD says the Bears. And Terrell's going with an of course, Terrell. That's going to be the score. You're right. We're going to bet that. I bet we can get 100 to 1, and probably that's not even a good price. Greg loves the Saints here, and David Wallace likes the Saints. Nasty Nate's out there. Was he shooting bear? What's he doing out there? And Saints are down by 8. Saints are done by 8, I think is what he's saying out there. Bears, Cowboys, and Washington by 1 point. This is the NFL after all, right, Greg? These games come down to the field goal every time. Blake's on the Saints here. Good morning to Gerald Jones. Robert's on the under. Here's Greg says the Bears. Yeah, there it is at 25-24. Greg says right there, same thing. Be a close game.
Final.
Bears get it done. Saints no good in outdoor weather, right? They're kind of a fast team that needs to be on the turf. Stop Gio, says Olave TD, Pacheco TD. Mike likes it a low-scoring game with the Bears. I have it just kind of the opposite of Mike today. And Gerald likes the over. And Irish King says 28-21 there in an over. Bears and over, I think that says. I'm taking the Saints. Give me the Saints. All right, we got one of the marquee matchups here of the day. It's going to have a playoff feel, I think, when the Vikings host the Eagles today, with the Eagles coming in. And, well, I know we're on the Sports Money Network, but I think the Eagles fans know the Eagles just are not playing very well. For a 4-2 team, they look like a team that's not going to be the play. Ever since they started pointing fingers, needing team meetings and things like that, they just haven't looked good. God, Jaguars have to punt again. Rams will take over at the 8, but the Eagles are 12-2 against the spread, last 14 in closely rated games such as this with 3 points or less. So you got to look at that a little bit here coming in. I think Eagles right now, it feels like finger pointing going on. They don't look great. They don't look great at all. Here, this feels like it's going to be a tough game. Now, this would be, I think the matchup would say this is the game that the Eagles go in and get right. Even against a team like the Vikings, who are still pretty good. They've had some clunkers for sure. But the Eagles can run with Barkley for sure in this one. The Vikings are not very good against the run, but Sirianni gets a little bit flustered with just a couple of runs not working with Saquon. All of a sudden he wants to throw. And I don't know if that's the right situation for the Eagles today. I'm down on Brown. I'm down on Hurts in this matchup, actually. Although Devonta, Vikings good against number ones, not so much against number twos. Brown might be okay, but Hurts has got to get it to him, and the Vikings do come with pressure, I believe. And Goddard, I'm neutral on him here. I don't know if I like anybody on the Vikings offense here. That makes it kind of tough for me to kind of tout them a little bit, even though I think I think I like them here to win this game. But for me, I'm going to go under here. Look, the Eagles kind of do a good job against running backs for sure. I don't know if Mason will be able to get going here. Even Justin Jefferson could have some problems here with Wentz. This is where the Eagles do kind of excel, but watch out for Jordan Addison today. He's starting to get going with those first 2 games back. I think he'll be the key player for the Vikings here today. The Eagles are good defensively still, the numbers would say, but for whatever reason, they're just looking a little bit not like a team. I don't know how else to put it. Philly 6-3 against the spread, last 8 as a road favorite, but Sirianni 7-11, ATS coming in off of loss. last 4 weeks, the opponents have gone over their team total when playing the Eagles. Vikings here coming in off of a bye. They're one of the worst teams off of a bye for sure, but we'll see here. Remember, they split those games, and they played in England for a couple of weeks. So we'll see. With Wentz isn't exactly healthy either, and if so, they'd have to go to a rookie. So just be ready for that. It feels like right now. Minnesota's 8-4 in their last 12 in those closely rated games as well. They do pretty good in that. Eagles have won the last two, 34-28 and 24-7 in this series. Eagles have lost their last 2 visits here, and they haven't won here in 17 years. Let's go to the chat here in this one. I'm taking the under as my play here on the Morning Steam Show at 44.
Final.
And we're going to the chat. Let's see what you have here. We've got David is on the Eagles. 40 Medvedev today looked good, didn't he? Looked good. Sorry if I missed anybody here. I'm going back to try to see here. Mike is on the Vikes. Irish King says it's game of the afternoon here. Art Tom's on the Eagles. Mike says 12-3. He's got this one, I think. And Greg says Eagles aren't losing 3 in a row. Yeah, coach ain't getting fired. Good morning to DeAndre. What, have you been up all night? Jordan Mason here. Markel says they're not going to lose 3 in a row here. DeAndre's coming in. He's got Jefferson. DeAndre's coming in here to see which games I disagree with him on from our other show. All right. Let's see here. Jefferson, ATD, and over for Blake. Parcells is probably get another bye. Eagles scored 17. What's wrong with them, right? Here you are, the Eagles. You're going along. You look great. Then I'm not getting the ball. I know I've talked about this narrative already, but I mean, they needed a team meeting when the team was on fire, right? I mean, because one guy's not getting the ball doesn't make any sense. That's when a team starts to go downhill. That's what we've seen from the Eagles. Is this a game to turn it around? I'm actually ignoring my computer that says my numbers kind of say this is the Eagles spot. But, hey, Jacksonville's going to the house. There is a flag. Yeah, this one's coming back. I think I saw it out of the corner of my eye, unless I got it wrong. Here we go. AJ crying every year like he does, right? Gerald says it's a pick. Robert's on the Eagles. And too much pressure on Wentz. Yeah, maybe. I've got, I think Wentz will have enough time, but they just won't have enough running game, I think. And that's what you need to kind of back it up, right? Nuke's on the Eagles. Mike's on the Vikes. We're having a great time here with you guys. I know I just love every NFL game. Blake is going to Vrabel to the Patriots now. Brown to the Patriots. You know what? They're not going to. You got to stay with this unit here. Oh, boy, that's penalty. Can't do that, as the guys say. And this is the Eagles get-right game. Greg doesn't think the Vikings are too good, I think, is what he's saying there. All right. Mike says when the Eagles score, then take the Vikes. I think that's what he's saying there. Interesting. Final. And Greg says the Eagles own the Vikings. Yeah, but they haven't won in Eagles have not won in Minnesota in 17 years. The home team has won 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two. It's a conference series, so they don't meet every year. We know that. Gerald's got the under and the Rams and the Jags here. I think he's adding the under. Okay, let's keep it moving here. We won't spend much time on this one, will we? The Panthers and the Jets? Or maybe we will. Come on, this is the game of the day. Anyway, man, the Panthers have such a bad defense. Even the Jets might be able to win one here today, it feels like. I mean, the Panthers are, bottom 5 in against the run. They're not good covering receivers. They can't put any pressure on the quarterback. Even Justin Fields might have a big day here in this one, getting it to Josh Reynolds, who's looking good all of a sudden coming on, and even Lazard might have an action here. But Reynolds, they are big numbers, but they need somebody in the receiving game here right now. Does the Jets. So, hey, you got Reynolds, you got Lazard, you got Taylor too. I think Mason Taylor is coming on here as the tight end. So, look, I think the Jets are going to be able to score some points here in this one. And at home against Carolina. Carolina 3-0 at home, 0-3 on the road. It's not a bad, it's not awful. If they go 8-0 at home, I'd say the Panthers have improved this season. I think they've already improved. They're 3-3 coming in. Jets are still got that goose egg, but I'm taking them today. I think there's just too many issues with the Panthers. Look, McMillan's awesome. We've talked about him all year. He's great. Might even score in this game. And Panthers have, Jets are terrible covering at tight ends, but can Tommy Tremble find the end zone? They need him to. So I just don't know if Carolina has quite enough. I think the Jets will actually have one of their best offensive days of the season here, and they'll go on to win this one against the Panthers and finally get that win. They're not going to go winless. You got to find somebody beat. I'll take a chance against a team that's 0-3 on the road so far. Breece Hall can run and have a great game against this Panther defense for sure. They could just run him, and he'll be awesome, I think, today. We can get your comments on this one and not spend too long on it, I guess, because of the matchup here. But, hey, come on. Got to give the Panthers a little bit of credit right now with their 3-3 record, okay? Who likes them? Let's go to the chat. Who's on them? Someone's going to take the Panthers today. Here we go with the chat. Panthers have allowed almost 34 points in their road games this season, but they're running the ball decent. This is the first time the Panthers have been a road favorite in 5 years. All right, here we go. The other thing about the Jets losing these games, 4 of them were by a touchdown or less. I don't know if that's saying much. I mean, all NFL games are practically by a touchdown or less, aren't they? Robert's on the Jets here. David's on the Jets. Keith, Just Truth. Good to see Keith Just Truth. He likes the Eagles on the money line. Here's Jacksonville finally getting something going. Panthers. Gerald says, give me the Panthers. I think that's what he's saying there. Jets can get after the Panthers here a little bit. Sam Houston Jets to win. And Mike says, I could be the 1-800-GAMBLER hotline, right? Welcome to the Gamblers Hotline. This is Ramon speaking. Yes, I'm having a problem with my gambling. I'm betting on too many NFL games this weekend. Oh, no problem, sir. Take the Jets.
Final.
Art Thompson's on the Jets.
Final.
Rico Dowdle going to go crazy. Jets in Cleveland parlay. That's that's Bill Belichick parlay. Chuba is back, and that'll spread it out there a little bit between Dowdle and Hubbard, right? Look, I think if I'm Carolina, I mean, I've got McMillan. If I can establish the run, and I think they can with those guys, McMillan can open up a little bit. Like I said, I think this game will be a high-scoring game, actually. Jets for Mike. Irish King, Jets and Dowdle. And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. Let's keep it going. We're going to the afternoon games right now. San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers. Hey, the Chargers are getting healthy, and the Colts are a fraud, man. Come on, they're not that good. I'm glad the Colts are looking good, and hey, they got a great record right now. I'm sure they'll keep it going. They're 5-1. they're not as good as 5-1. Look at who they played. If you will, you can only beat who you played, so no problem. Look, we love Taylor. He could have a strong game today. Not a great matchup there. Like I said, the Chargers are adding defensive players coming back here. They've lost some players, but they're getting some back today, and that's a good sign for the Chargers in this one. Ty Warren getting a lot of attention from fantasy guys today, but I don't know. Chargers do pretty well against tight ends, actually. And I got, the Jaguars are limited to a field goal, and he missed it. You don't miss, look, Jacksonville, don't miss field goals in London, okay, Little? I mean, you don't want your kicker wearing number 39 either. You give that guy in a single digit, or you give him 99 or not, nothing. 38? No wonder he missed it. All right, for the Chargers today and Herbert, look, Colts actually do put a decent amount of pressure on quarterbacks, but if he can just get it to McConkey, to Allen, Quentin Johnston is back today here as well after missing a game with a hamstring. So the Chargers offense is set and ready to go. The Chargers are going to have a big day. They're going to blast these Colts. Going to get the tight ends involved. Look, I was calling for Conklin. It never worked out. I looked like a kind of a fool on here saying, get it to but the Chargers now have found their man in Oronde Gadsden, the second at tight end. He's the guy going to get the targets at tight end. The Chargers have a great matchup. They're not going to be able to get it going on the run game, that's for sure. The Colts stop the run. Probably I've got them as a top 5 run defense for sure. And look, they're already shorthanded in the running back game here coming in. So it's going to be Vidal in there, and Vidal had strong game against Miami, 124 yards. He had a game of his career there against Miami, touchdown as well. So Hassan Haskins is actually on the injured list, I believe. Questionable. Let me see if those injuries have come in, because this is Kamani Vidal game as far as the volume. Now, I think he still might have trouble getting there's great value on Vidal, but I don't know if he can get there, because I just don't know if the Colts are going to give up enough. But I think the Colts are going to give it up in the passing game. Yeah, you want to have the run game established to make it a little bit easier, but I think Herbert has a big game here in this one. I think the Chargers can actually stuff the Colts here today, and I'm going to take the Chargers here in this one to get it done and win it over the Colts. And they're laying 2. Go to the chat here with you guys, see what you have here with my Chargers taking on the 5-1. This is a good game of the afternoon too, isn't it? I know the other game's nice, but this is a good game too. Let's go to the chat here and look at some of the trends here. Colts beat the Titans on the road, but lost to the Rams right here in this stadium, 27-20. Colts have scored over 30 points or more in all 5 of their wins so far this season. Colts are 14-6 in the last 20 in games with a spread of 3 points or fewer. For the Chargers here with Harbaugh, they're 5-2 against the spread as a home favorite, 8-4 ATS coming in off of a win. Chargers have won 8 of the last 10 in this series. 7 of the last 8 meetings have gone under between these two teams. Let's see what you have. I've already made my pick, so we can go to the chat and see what you got. Here we go with Greg said the Jets have to win. Carolina's been overrated a little bit with those 3 wins so far. And let's see here. Chargers for Nunya. Colts struggled with Arizona's second-string quarterback. Chargers for Greg. Roberts on the Chargers. Blake says McConkey over. Yeah, I love McConkey in this game. I love Keenan Allen. I love Johnston. There just might not be enough balls to go around. I don't know if I can play all the prop guys, but I got to think Herbert here can have a big game. Colts not as great on the road. Like I said, I don't want to call them a fraud. That was a little bit harsh, right? But I don't think they're a 5-1 good. All right. Andrew says he says, man, what's going on here with the Jags is what he's saying. Terrell says this will be an air show with Danny Jones, with Indiana Jones going today. Maybe, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm on this passing game today for the
Final.
I'm definitely down on the tight ends. Ty Warren's been good. We've been rolling with him, but I wouldn't take him today. I mean, I guess you can go with Pittman. Pierce, what did they say? He just came out with on the injury report. So that's big. That was big. Pierce came in on the injury. I'm sorry. Josh Downs did. We already knew that. Josh Downs out. Pierce is not on the injury report. It's Ashton Doolin that's out as well. Okay, so a little bit of hurt there, but between Pittman and Pierce, sorry about that. Pierce is actually kind of sneaky here. Oh, the Rams are in. The Rams are in, and touchdown Rams. The blowout is on, and it's Cody Parkinson here. They found a third receiver into the end zone. You have basically a Super Bowl contender against another fraud. The Rams are blowing them out here in London. All right. And next up, we've got the Giants taking on the Broncos here in this one. Oh, man, this feels dangerous here with these two. Man, the Giants are going to come in here with Jackson Dart against the Broncos. Look, I love Jackson Dart's a favorite to win the Heisman. Do they forget about Ibuka? Dart has 5 interceptions and 3 touchdowns, and he's almost even money to win the Rookie of the Year. He might be knocked out of this game by the time it's all said and done by Denver. I don't see the Giants. Will they score a touchdown? That might be my prop today. They're not going to be able to run. Scatterbo no today. I don't think Scatterbo is going to be able to do it, or Tracy. I think the Broncos will dominate this game, quite frankly, and win and cover. Probably Wandale, forget about it. And look, who do you got beyond Wandale with this team? Bo Collins? You got Bo Collins as your number 2 right here. Little Jordan Humphrey, what's his deal today? Is he on the injured list? I mean, who's going to catch the ball from these guys? Let me see little Jordan Humphrey stand. Is he on the injured list? Okay, he's not. Jalen Hyatt's probable. We know Slayton is out. So I think there's a big problem here for the Giants, actually. Beyond that, yes, Theo Johnson has looked pretty good. Denver's terrific against tight ends, too. Denver's awesome. Denver's terrific. They're going to smash these guys today. Look, the Giants won't be able to. They'll keep it down here. I'm going under in this game for sure. You want to talk about an under. This is an under in my book. And I think the Broncos, it's going to be like 27-9, something in there, something goofy like that. Bo Nix has a pretty good matchup here. It's just that Giants cover okay. I wouldn't go with Sutton. In fact, the guy I don't know who I'd go with here. I don't know if I like anything, but maybe Bo Nix and his maybe Nix and his rushing yards a little bit. I just think it'll be a convincing victory here for Denver. They'll get it done. They'll cover in an under. I've got the under for sure in this one as my pick. We'll go to the chat. We'll cover a little bit of the numbers with these guys coming in. Remember, Broncos played in England last week. They did not get a bye. They don't assign that. I think they actually ask the team if they're okay with it or something like that before they do that. Denver's 2 losses were by points. That's how close they are to being undefeated right now. And 5 of their 6, they've played in close games, but that's because they've got a strong defense and their offense is, not great, but I think here they will be. Broncos, the Giants come in here. Yes, Dart 2-1 so far. Good for him. Giants are 10-6 ATS in their last 16 against AFC competition. 10-7 ATS coming in off of a win under Dable, but I've got the Broncos to dominate this professional football game and in professional fashion, and they win this one comfortably in and under and dominate today. All right. Oh, did Casper Ruud win? Let me get the picks going here. I see somebody saying Casper Ruud. I didn't send out any tennis in some of these finals today, but did bet Ruud there, and I haven't been watching. I've been doing my show. All right, here. Terrell. I'm calling him Indiana Jones. The guys can call him Danny Dimes. It's hard not to. And no Markel, it's next week. Next week is tight end day. I remember in week one, I'm like, isn't week one tight end day? And they told me no. And I looked it up. I think it's next week. The fourth Sunday of October is tight end day. G-Men for Mike. R. Thompson for Denver. Roberts on Denver. And Blake says, I'm going to get my over just on the Rams alone. Yeah, and I'm on the record with the Rams. I was on another show taking the Rams. I bet the Rams here. So full disclosure, I'm on Rams and over on YouTube anyway, and my bets. So didn't do premiums, but hey, you know what? On a lot of these, when I'm on these shows, goal Villa. That's going to make our chat happy. Goal for Villa here moments ago, 78th minute. Did Casper Ruud win? I just took him on the money line. I'm not going to give anything out like that. He's $1.75, but 6.2, 6.3. You got to roll there. Roll with Ruud, don't you? Good match here. Lechka and Felix just getting going here with Lechka and Felix right now. Good match coming. Good match just underway. All right. And look, I think that's what Greg said too. I think is that the score that I said, or is Greg going with almost the exact score that I said? How about that, Greg? And SF Niner says, who do you like, Ramon? The pressure's on here. Who do you like between these two guys, Lechka and Felix? Oh, you know what, man? Felix does hang in here, and I'll take Felix, but I'm not betting. I'm just taking it right here on the show. I didn't bet it. I don't even know what's professional advice. I'm going to just root for Felix here. Look, I mean, Felix loves the indoor hard court. I think that's a fact, right? I mean, this is kind of his surface a little bit. I think if you look, what did the tennis abstract numbers say? Lechka, a slight favorite there, and he is Felix is going off as a favorite, but the move's been on Lechka. I'm going to go with Felix. I'll go with Felix to win. Okay, Broncos first half for Blake and Robert. Very interesting point. Teams that covered the previous week haven't fared well when matched up against teams that didn't. Wow. Okay, what's this one, Mike? Teams giving over 7 points after no rest after flying back from England. Not good. Is that right? Irish Kings got Sutton here. Sancho today. Hi, Sancho. Nice to see you. Broncos and Chargers. Irish King says Sutton to go over in his receptions. And there's Robert celebrating. And Broncos, I don't know what Greg's saying there, but he's saying the Broncos. Hey, there's a gain, I think, for Jackson. Oh, no. Even when they get a big pass to Malik Washington, he's out of bounds. You know what? You could stand to look at the replay here real quick because this rain has really done a number on the sideline here. No, oh, boy, it's so interesting, right? It's almost like he got the and again, another problem with this field over here is that the chalk lines just don't stick. And you could argue that he almost got the tiptoes in, both of them, but maybe just part of the toe was on the line. But he did about as good as he could to stay in bounds. If anything, that's almost a bad pass by Lawrence. Okay, let me keep it moving here. We got the NFL. We're doing NFL. We got 4 hockey, so we can take our time. But all right, it's always a great rivalry when the Commanders take on the Cowboys. You know what? Hey, like I said, I know we probably can't call them Redskins anymore, but sure missed that, right? Like I said, I'm all in favor of going back to some of those old nicknames. I love the Fighting Sioux. I love the Seminoles. Probably can't name teams after skin pigmentation color, but still. All right. Commanders here taking on the Cowboys. Look, I guess the Cowboys are back, man. Everybody loves them here. Woohoo. Not me, man. Come on. With Daniels back, with Bill Merritt in the backfield, and these receivers today with Moore, McCaffrey, and don't forget, maybe just a little bit of Jalen Lane here. I think the Redskins are the team to beat in this game. It's nearly a pick 'em here. Cowboys a favorite by 1.5. What have the Cowboys done to graduate back to a favorite here? Okay, I get it. There's a little bit of injury woes for Washington.
Final.
Coming into this game, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's not necessarily skill position players necessarily that are now popping up. Zach Ertz is probable. We know CD Lamb is back, and that's kind of throwing some momentum there to the Cowboys. He's back in this one, but they've got some other injuries too this week that aren't too great. We saw Diggs. What was he doing to get a concussion at home? Probably horsing around, things you're not supposed to. I don't want to say it. That just sounds terrible. But getting a concussion at home, maybe the stories come out and I just missed it. Maybe he was doing some work around the house and something bad happened. Or maybe he's wrestling with some buddies or something dumb like that. I don't know. But it just sucks that get an injury here. A top defender like that, and you're missing some defenders. So we know for Washington, Debo out, McLaurin out. So, hey, you wish those guys were in because this is a great matchup. But like I said, I've got more. I've got McCaffrey. I'm not fretting this matchup. And I think maybe that's part of it for Washington, right, coming in is the fact that they are missing such key players. And they have other, like I said, other wide receivers out too. They're actually very, very thin. But this is the game where these guys are going to step up. Bill Merritt can have a big game today. I don't necessarily like the matchup for Dak going up against the Commanders here. I think they'll pressure Dak a little bit. I'm down on Lamb. Not down. They put his props too high. I couldn't play Lamb, and I couldn't play Pickens either. And those are kind of Washington's specialties, covering top receivers. So I have big concerns here. Now, Ferguson's the man. Last night we were on the show. They said, Ramon, give us your top touchdown play. And I went with Ferguson today. So it's not going to be all a disaster here. But I'm actually going under in this game at 54. I mean, come on. I think Washington does the most of the score. Not most. Well, yeah, most. They're going to win. So, but I'm going with the under officially. I'll back off a little bit. I might have been on another show talking the Commanders to win. So I think I'm on the Commanders, but I think my play here on the morning steam is on the under here in this one at 54. Like, we got Romo. Well, Dak's still great. We know that, but Daniels is good too. But I got Merritt to have a big game. If anything, we've been kind of getting burned with Merritt. He did have the good game against the Chargers there, obviously, but the other games haven't really been that great since that opener against the Giants. Has basically been under his expectations in 4 of the 6 games so far. But I think tonight I'm on Bill Merritt here against Dallas. Let's go to the chat, though, and get your picks here in this one with the Commanders on the road. Short week, obviously. They won or lost to the Bears 25-24. I know that score now. But so far, the opponents have been getting their numbers really against the Commanders. The team total has been going over so far. Washington 7-3 in closely rated games of a field goal or less. Dallas, the last 5 weeks, have allowed 433 yards per game. That's not going to do it. and they're also 4-11 ATS coming in off of a loss, 0-3 ATS when they score less than, let me get this one straight. Opponents have gone over their team total in 4 of the last 5. Division series, Cowboys have won 5 of the last 7. Washington just 2 of 7 here in Dallas, 2-7 straight up and ATS. But I'm going under this big number. I think it's one of those where the expectations are going to exceed the eventual score. Here we go with some of your picks on this one. Irish King says Dak over in his passing touchdowns and Lamb to get a touchdown. And Greg says you got to take the over in this one. Sancho's on the Commanders. Irish King says Pickens will also eat. Yeah, see, I'm totally opposite in this game. I think the numbers were too high, and I don't think those star receivers will get there. And I love Pickens. We've been on him a lot. No Debo, Blake says, I'll go over. Wait a minute, how's that? CD's first game back, and Pickens will still have a big game, Terrell says. Man, you guys are disrespecting that, one of the strong suits of the Commanders for sure. I think the pass defense is pretty good. Don't you guys think so? All right, nobody has any defense. They don't like the Commanders' defense. All right. Cowboys has the worst defense. Now, this is a fact. That's why I think that even those backups, if you call them back, obviously Luke McCaffrey's not, he is kind of a backup. But again, you got Chris Moore. He's going to have a big-time expanded role, and he had a big game against the Bears with a touchdown and 3 receptions and 56 yards. All right. Oh, Blake did. Oh, he did mean under here. Commanders, that short week, right? Thank you. Greg, that's so nice of you. And we've had a good banter today, too. I've taken issue with some of your takes and praised you for the takes we've agreed on. But I'm glad. That's what makes it awesome. And Terrell's ironing his clothes or something here. Chargers are the best bet. What does we do saying? Can't make no mistakes in the Super Bowl. Commanders second quarter win. Remember when, I don't know what he means by that, but when I think about that, I think when he says Commanders second quarter Super Bowl, no mistake, I think of when the Redskins played the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and Doug Williams, he threw 5 touchdown passes in the second quarter, right? Or they scored 5 touchdowns, maybe he threw 3 or 4, but the Redskins scored 5 touchdowns in the second quarter against the Broncos in the Super Bowl a long time ago. I remember that one because I was going to a Super Bowl party and my engine blew. That was a long time ago. Packers and Cardinals are next. We're almost at the end here. Packers are a 7-point favorite on the road. And look, they're better than the Cardinals. I know Jacoby Brissett's in there today. No Kyler Murray. But look, everyone's kind of scared. Oh, man, Jacoby Brissett, not the same Jacoby Brissett that we saw when he was when he'd get in there a little bit for New England, when he'd was on some other teams getting in there. I don't know. It looked like the same Jacoby Brissett to me in that last game. 321 yards on 38 attempts in the loss to Indy. Yeah, they were playing from behind. They weren't going to win that game necessarily, but they covered, right? In the 27, you guys said it just a moment ago. They covered. They got the money, and now they're at home against the Packers. The Packers are great. We know that. Might be going to the bowl here, but hey, Arizona, it's not a great matchup for Green Bay as far as the expected numbers of the props that I saw and things like that. I don't think they'll overwhelm them here necessarily. Now, at 44.5, I might have kind of want to go over, actually. Look, if you look at this game, Packers by 7, what are they going to win the game by if the total's 44? 24-17, that's an under, and I don't think this game is an under here. I think the Cardinals can get some. Now, I know they're going to put some heat on Brissett for sure, but he is mobile. And if he can get out there and get it to Harrison, now I'm not too pleased with this is going to be tough for the Cardinals today. It's Greg Dortch. Could it be Greg Dortch day? I wonder if Greg Dortch can, because Michael Wilson, we'll see. I don't really trust him, and we know that Zay Jones, do we have him? He's questionable, right? So I'm almost willing to just toss him aside, and if he plays, he plays. But let me look up and down the list here. I think he's questionable still. So you're going to have some Greg Dortch in here probably. Maybe Dortch finds the end zone. And you've got plenty of Trey McBride. You're going to have some McBride. I don't know if I'd go over on anybody in this game necessarily. It's a good matchup for the Packers defensively. I understand that. But on the road, laying a touchdown, I think this one's just going to end up being a higher scoring game with Jordan Love maybe needing to get some extra scores here because the Cardinals have done a little bit of work. And I'm going to go over in this one with the Packers and the Cardinals this afternoon at 44.5 here. I think the numbers came high on all the props. I don't know who I like here in this game. And also, what is Dontavian Wick's status? Because Golden, is he a disappointment? Look, he kind of gets his numbers a little bit, and you got to like the promise of Golden. And we saw the Jacobs news too. Let me get that to you because that's pretty important here as well with Josh Jacobs of the Packers still listed as questionable here. And the longer it gets, you got to wonder what is in store with Jacobs in this game. And if so, they're going to have to go down to Emmanuel Wilson. I think Jacobs can get in that lineup, but how effective is it going to be? So I think I still got it as an over. I think both teams resort to the pass here a little bit. I don't know if the Cardinals Bam night so far. Hey, he did well against Indy, caught the ball out of the backfield a little bit. I just think this one is an over for me, and I'm going to take the over in this one. Halftime, and we're almost done, so I'll be able to watch the second half here, and we'll get done with the show. But thank you to everyone in the chat. We know we got one more Sunday night football game, and then I'll look at 4 hockey games as well while we're at halftime, and then that'll be it. Like Sundays, talking all these games with you guys, and hope I'm not long-winded. Okay, Irish King says, look, he's sick. And you know what? What does Mike say? When one guy's sick, everybody's sick. Robert likes Arizona here, and you talk about, some guys out here for sure. Greg says Arizona plus the points in a close game. How many times Arizona, right? Look, Kyler Murray's a nice quarterback. He's nice. He's a nice man. He's a okay quarterback. He'll get you the back door, right? Brissett, maybe he's a little more stable. I don't know. Not going to replace Kyler Murray with Brissett, but we are in this one. Okay, Dobbs to go over his yards and an ATD there. And Irish King says, don't forget about Kraft. Yeah, Kraft might eat. He might get close to his number again. I don't want to go over his number here. Greg says, whenever you see a half a point, take the over. I don't know what that means. Do I take the over on every game that has a half a point? And Mikey talking crypto. Wouldn't be a show without Mikey talking some crypto. Sancho says Chargers, Broncos, Packers, Moneyline parlay. Sancho says more Eagles, Browns, Moneyline. That looks like a parlay. Blake says bet over in that game there. And Smash It says Nuke. Thank you, Nuke. Skunson with his play of the day likes the Vikings in that one. All right, Skunt. Me too. And I think ATDs here from Sancho include Hurts, Judkins, Saquon, and Bijan. All right, let's get to that last game since we're mentioned Bijan. I want to mention here some breaking news. Apologize to my Cleveland crew in the chat, but someone said it looks like a nice day. And we're just getting word right now that the wind advisory is going to be dropped today at noon. That is game time in Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or maybe it's 1 hour before the game. The weather is still pretty crappy overall, but the gusts are not there, and the wind advisory will be dropped. And while there could be rain, let me see if that total is going back up here with this weather news coming in. It's still 35, even down to 34.5, and BetOnline has it at 34. I went with the over in this game as my play, for a play, if you will. Not on this show, but just telling you. And Joe, there's Joe. He said light rain, and we're expecting light rain throughout the game. I'm pretty sure, right, Joe? But the wind is died down severely, and Kevin Roth, if you know who that is, you guys, he is a sports weatherman kind of. I know he's a local weatherman, but he does sports and fantasy sports, and he says that the wind advisory is expected to be dropped today at noon.
Final.
Okay, so that's why you come to the morning steam, I hope. And if you like the over, it's right now, you guys. You got, because it's going to go back up here, I believe, once that news, I don't want to say starts to break. It already has, but we're monitoring it here. If you saw what you look, I know you see it in the reflect. I know you see the game there in the reflection and the computer. Right here, I've got that computer right there. You can barely see it. Has my tweet deck on it, giving me all the updates a little bit over here. I'm monitoring it. That's why it looks like I got those darty eyes that Mike was talking about. Villa wins here. Good job, Villa. Okay, let me go to the Falcons here. Yep. And that's pretty good right there. That's pretty stiff. But again, I think they're saying it's going to die down approaching game time. Okay, tonight it's the Falcons taking on the 49ers here in San Francisco. Boy, a funny thing happened to the 49ers being a mediocre team this season, huh? They just keep staying the same. They keep staying good. No matter who gets hurt, who's out, that's a sign of a good organization. I think that's what you're getting with John Lynch in San Francisco. No matter what happens, they just always have the guy next up like Mac Jones. Now, not a great matchup for – well, it's okay matchup for Jones.
Final.
But
Final.
I just think that the Falcons are pretty good at covering receivers. This might be kind of a grinded-out game. Might be a lot of CMC here, and I'm not going to go with him on his numbers because his numbers are always too high that I can't ever truly get it. Now, Bijan, I'm with you guys. I'm all about Bijan today in this matchup. I'm not about San Francisco. I'm only about Bijan here. I mentioned Mooney there mistakenly today, but he is expected to suit up, I believe, but he's got a hamstring. Drake London, numbers came too high again for me to get involved here. Boy, they're a little bit happy on these numbers with Atlanta, it feels like. But I think for Mac Jones here, I think for McCaffrey, big performance here, certainly. Watch out. Juszczyk could get in the end zone. They might, go down to Juszczyk here, or maybe Robinson Jr. to get a goal line carry, it feels like today. Now, I can't go with Jennings. I can't go with Kendrick Bourne, despite the fact that I like the matchup for Mac Jones. But maybe DeMarcus Robinson could sneak in there. He has gotten some targets the last few weeks. And I'm also down on, Kittle's numbers have been set too high for his return. So I think it is a very high total for a division game on Sunday night. I mean, 3 points too high right when I looked at it. Did it actually? I think it opened lower too. Let me look here. Yeah, it opened 40. Some books opened at 45.5 there. So I think they were right. I mean, no way am I going to be going over for 47 in a division game like this. But I got to take the Niners. I think that they continue to click. I think the Niners are just fine moving forward. I still think they're a Super Bowl contender right now. And they'll get Purdy back. But you know what? Mac Jones, like we said, when he first came on, no problem. No Purdy, no problem. Mac Jones can be just as fine. And the more experience he gains with this team, right, you start to see the difference when we look at all these quarterbacks that suck when they're with crummy teams. and then you put them on a good team, and you know what? Maybe they're not so bad after all. And even that might even go for Indiana Jones a little bit, right? But Mac Jones, it seems like a great fit in San Francisco.
Final.
If the Niners wanted to, I don't know. Purdy's got the money coming, so can't worry about it now. But Niners are just 7-11 ATS. Last 18 is a home favorite. Falcons are actually 1-3, but 2-2 against the spread in their last 4 trips in here. I say division matchup. My apologies. Not a division matchup, but plays like a division matchup. You guys are probably already laughing at me in the chat. I'm old school that the Falcons and the 49ers were a long division matchup that makes me have brain cell problems there, but does feel like kind of a division matchup anyway. Just making excuses there for my slip up. So all 4 of the wins for the Niners have been by 5 points or fewer coming in. Atlanta, though, just 3-7 against the spread. Last 10 is a road dog. Falcons 6-11 against the spread. Last 17 coming off of a win, and the Falcons are 8-17 ATS. Last 25 in spreads of 3 points or less. Also Atlanta 5-10 against the spread. Last 15 on natural grass. It is a short week, long travel after Monday night's win. Big problems here. I've got the Niners to beat the Falcons in a low-scoring game. Here we go. If anybody said in the chat, Ramon, they're not in the same division, you win. Because that was dumb of me to say, but here we go. We've got our Tops Falcons, Sancho Falcons. You guys are on the Falcons here. And look, I like Penix. I've been on Penix a lot. And I like Bijan. Greg says the Niners win by just a point. That's a Falcons cover. Robert likes Atlanta on the money line. Hey, if they can beat the Bills, they can beat the Niners. San Francisco played Tampa good last week. He loves them today. Everyone's taking Atlanta because they beat the Bills, right? They should be taking the other team because they beat the Bills, right, Greg? Get that. We know how it is in the NFL, the ups and downs, the emotion, right? All right, and Bobby Mack on the under with me here. That's it for football, you guys. Thank you so much. Got through all those games. And I pushed the play. You guys caught me. You guys caught me on my computer. I'm watching from last week Kai Trump playing golf with her grandfather. That's what I was watching tonight. Don't at me. If I was watching for Kai Trump. She's 18. Greg, everyone loses at Carolina on the road. Don't you know that Carolina is a great home team now? Let's go to the NHL tonight. I've got 4 games. I'll just cover them quickly. You guys stuck around for all those games. I've got some picks here tonight and I'll look at the goalies here real quick. Haven't really checked on. Hey, we had the big card, did a late night show, and then Ramon slept. Okay, Ramon just slept. I slept here till about 5 a.m. Okay. I think I fell asleep last night during the main event, actually, on the broadcast with the guys. Did anybody catch it? I heard somebody yell, Mike or somebody, and I looked up. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm on the air. And maybe did anybody notice that? I think I might have fell asleep on the air last night. Oh, my gosh. Report. Oh, my gosh. My man, the report of the week, has just come out with a new video about the best Taco Bell item yet. I'm going to have to.
Food review.
Only 50 views?
Well, hello.
Everyone
baby.
knows my favorite food reviewer is the report of the week, and he's just come out with a new video. I've got, the notifications on with him. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, Review Bruh, that's my guy, and he's got fast food reviews. He says Taco Bell's got the new item, might be the best yet. I can't wait to see what he's talking about. How about the Arby's? Has anybody had the Arby's steak bites? I want to try those. Okay, here we go with hockey. Getting a little wacky here on Sunday, you guys. All right, Canucks and Demko and the Capitals coming in here with Thompson here in this one. You got Washington coming in, I believe 3-2 right now. Caps looking good at 4-1 here at this point. You got goalies confirmed here, where this is an early start, just an hour, 90 minutes away right now. Lindgren in goal here for the Caps, should be noted, and Demko is in there, so got to fix that. Lindgren's in 1-0. He had a shutout already, so maybe it is just as much about the Caps as it is about the Canucks here. Look, let me look at the total here. I'm sure it's gone up, though, to 6. No, still 5.5 over 25 in this one. You got the Caps here at minus $1. It's gone down a little bit here, minus $1.55 or so, I think, now in this one. Maybe because of Lindgren being in there today. But 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. 6 of the last 8 between these two teams in Washington have gone under. This series has been all about Washington. They've won 18 of the last 13, but I think this one might end up being close here today with Lindgren in there. I mean, Caps are looking good, but you know what? Vancouver's done a nice job as well so far. Little bit of a surprise here, I would say. So I'm gonna try the Canucks here as a dog. I'm gonna go plus a goal here. Give me plus a goal. Be a little conservative here at least, but I'll sprinkle the money line a little. Second half's about to start of football, so I'll let you guys kind of go here right now. Let me cover these games real quick. And Nunya, thank you for your support here. Greg says Atlanta there in that football game. And Nunya's falling asleep on the air or during the main event. Yeah. Yeah. But was it? I think I was tired though, Nunya, but Nunya's going to try those take bites for me. Here's the Rams with the ball to start. Greg's ready for the hockey. Robert likes the under here in this one, under 6. That's going to be pretty heavily juiced. He knows that. Sammy's on Vancouver here. Blake likes the under in this one. I might go over today if look, I know Lindgren's was awesome in that one start. Mike's going to go with 6 there, I think. And Tom Rickard, nice to see you, Tom. Hey, we got another good one right after this. The Oilers and the Red Wings. Wow. Oilers coming in here, not perfect, but still looking okay so far. Red Wings, though, looking real good so far this season. Wow. How about it with the Red Wings right now? Is this for real? You got Skinner and Gibson here. Those are definitely the goalies. 140, 6.5 under at minus 130 here in this one. I got to go under. I know that, the Oilers here maybe, and with Skinner and Gibby in there. Gibby hasn't looked good at all. He's got a goals against right now, 3.56 and 86.5 save percentage. Skinner not quite confirmed in here yet, but hey, at 6.5 heavily juiced, I'm going under. I'll pay the juice. I'll take the under in this one with the Edmonton Oilers and Red Wings here today. And Robert says take Washington in regulation back in that other one. That might be one way to attack it. Yep. And I'll keep it moving here right now. So we get the football game here real quick. Here, Ducks taking on, not a great game. Ducks and Blackhawks, but the Ducks favored on the road. The Blackhawks maybe it is a great game. I mean, the Blackhawks are playing good. The Ducks have a couple of wins already. What's the problem here? Boy, that turf, man, just slipping around. Is that Devontae with a catch there? Rams making it look easy here today. They might be able to get Stafford out of the game by the fourth quarter, the way this is going. For the Ducks here, you got, let me check the goalies here. Dostal, Spencer Knight, likely to play here in this one. He was in the starter's crease this morning. 2.21 goals against, 92.5% save percentage. Knight's 1-2 so far. Dostal's 1-2 here, but still, Ducks on the road. That doesn't feel real comfortable. Chicago looks somewhat improved, if not dramatically improved. Only time will tell, I guess, here. But probably still in this one. Look, I know the Ducks are the better team, but come on. I mean, they're going to go out here and win games on the road. please. Give me the Blackhawks here. We're seeing a little bit of improvement so far from both teams. I don't think the Ducks are going through the roof, though. So give me the Blackhawks here in this one at plus money. And a few more comments. There's Detroit for Robert. Mike likes the under in that one. Robert's taking Chicago as well. Philly Eagle Flyer says Caps under, Wings over. Hi, Philly Eagle Flyer. Also Bruins win, Hawks and over. Thanks, you guys. Great. And we've got finally the Bruins taking on the Mammoth. Wow, the Mammoth. Can you believe this? A Mammoth team right now at home. This is becoming one of the best home ice advantages in the league very quickly. They got the big favorite here over a Boston team that's playing pretty good. I'm not sure that, look, Boston has 3 wins already, but Mammoth at home are just so good. Even Boston might be a little bit up against it here, it feels like. Korpisalo, 1-1 with a 3.5 goals against. Bemlica, 3-1 with a 1.99 goals against, 91% save percentage coming into this one. So I've probably got to gravitate to the total here, and I'm going to go over tonight with Boston and Utah. Utah's scoring some goals at home, beating teams up a little bit, and they might do it to Boston here too. But look, got to be pleased if you're a Bruins fan that maybe they can get it together a little bit and be better in this season, be a little bit better. So I'll take the over this one. That's the morning steam, I think. Do we forget anything? They're underway in tennis, and they're on serve. Felix is up 4-3. More soccer to come. 15 minutes. Man U and Liverpool. Liverpool, big
Final.
favorite, substantial favorite in that one. Got some action still to come in Serie A. La Liga's got a couple of games left. The Bundesliga, lots of soccer coming up. 3 in France going right now. All right. Hey, we didn't review the games from yesterday too much here from the show, but I know we did have some pretty good winners here, at least on the show yesterday. We had Vanderbilt, didn't we, here on the show yesterday over LSU? Yeah, of course we did in that one. And we had Washington, Michigan under on the Morning Steam show yesterday for a winner there. We had the Georgia Bulldogs over Ole Miss. We had Utah. So, hey, we had ASU. These were a lot of winners yesterday we had on the show. All right. Thanks, you guys. Let's do the drawing. Don't forget, check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. I've got my package coming up there in just a minute for the NFL. So pick it up for just 50 cents when you subscribe for 1 month at $19.95. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Comes out to about 50 cents a day. If this show is worth 50 cents to you, and I'm making a fortune off you guys, I mean, all the dozens of subscribers that I have paying 50 cents, I'm up to like 60 subscribers, man, and 50 cents a day. You can see how I can afford like a sports money hoodie and a big electronic scoreboard. Guys, it's not much. It helps pay the bills around here. I'm using all the tools like Mikey. I pay several $100s for the fast line services, so we get that noise with the steam plays. I know it's not a big deal as part of our signature of our show, but we get that noise, and I can tell you about when the line is moving, and you can hopefully get in there and get your best prices. So hopefully there's some of that in it for you, and the way you can thank me is by subscribing. Appreciate the donos. We love supporting the channel. But when you go over to winnable.com and get my plays there and get my extra plays, and they're good plays, aren't they? Especially in my overnight sports like tennis, like Australian sports. We're into NBL now as well. And you know what? I love also, one league I like to watch on YouTube is the PBA, and maybe I'll have some PBA. So check me out over at winnable.com.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines. Just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait. Don't guess. Don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Gosh, I wish I had viewers like Review Bra. He put that video out 12 minutes ago and I said 50 views. He is such a popular reviewer. Review Bra has already got 2,000 views in 12 minutes. And you guys, I'm just asking for 50 cents a day. If I could get that, I'd put all my picks out there for free. Maybe I should be reviewing fast food. Thanks a lot for joining me here, everybody. Let's do the drawing right now. Can't wait to see what is the new item at Taco Bell, you guys. I can't wait to watch this. You know, I like my crunchy tacos. I like my steak quesadilla. I like those nacho fries that Joe told me about. Here we go. 43 today. Man, that's like a record. Maybe I am going viral. Or, well, getting some people to watch the show. Mikey's going to be happy with me. Okay, here we go. Jerry, Cash Kane, Bo, Arthur, Public Enemy, We Do, Sammy. The winner is D-Money. D-Money is the winner, and D-Money, I'll extend your subscription another month. Remind me what the name is if you can, or I'll find it, D-Money, and appreciate you appreciate everybody here on the Morning Steam Show. Thank you to those in the chat as well. Mike said CFL, but I think we've already played the games this week, haven't we? I think all the games are done. Well, I think we won. Oh, maybe he's telling me he might have been telling me to review the CFL from yesterday because I think we did. We lost them both on the show. We lost the totals. Okay. Thank you. We do. Thank you, Art Thompson. Great to see you as well in the chat. That's it. For the Morning Steam and for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long. See you tomorrow. I'll see you tonight. See you tonight for Sunday Night Football. Don't forget, tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, Falcons, Niners. Join us here with Razor on the Sports Money Network.
Cash, then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.